So we've got at least a dual-tiered legal system in the United States when it comes to hate crimes. Hate crime is only in place to protect non-whites from whites. As far as I know, it's not used to protect non-whites from each other, and it's not used to protect whites from non-whites. This door only swings one way. Today we've got two stories, came out on the same day, made this really obvious. This young lady that you see over here to my right, she is one of the people who abducted or kidnapped or captured that mentally disabled white kid in Chicago and tortured him and cut his face and did all that stupid shit to him. They called it a hate crime because it was a hate crime. They were doing all that stuff to him because they had power over him and because he was white, and they were taking out their miserable rage at their own lives on somebody who was different than them. I guess that's what a hate crime is. So they've all been sitting in jail. The people who did that to that kid, the four of them, have been sitting in jail for about a year, 10 or 11 months. I guess they couldn't make bond, or the judge didn't allow bond. So they've been sitting there for a year, and now she has pled guilty to a hate crime, and they gave her probation. So she's out. She's done with this. She's out of jail. If she screws up again, she'll go back to jail and do a 90-day turnaround. They would probably tell you that if she screwed up, she would go to prison for 10 years, but that's bullshit. She'll go back for 30 to 90 days, then she'll be back out on the street again. And it will almost assuredly happen to her or one of these other people when the same thing inevitably happens to them. So let's go to okay, so the end of the day is, what was her punishment for the stuff that she did? 1 year, basically. She got time served in probation. Second story, this guy right here, he broke a window at a mosque and he left some bacon at the mosque. He got 15 years in prison, and after that he'll have another 15 years of probation. So he didn't hurt another human being. He did what we would call criminal mischief if it occurred outside of this racial or religious stuff. If you damage someone's property, basically to cause some kind of a problem with them, you would just be responsible for paying back whatever the damage you did to their property, and a light sentence like community service and a fine. But because he did it to Muslims instead of other white people, he's been sentenced to 15 years in prison. So let's go back and look at the previous case. Hate crime against a white, 1 year, time served, probation. Over here, where he didn't actually hurt another human being, he didn't cut their face with a knife, he didn't kidnap them, he didn't do aggravated battery or any of that kind of stuff. He put some bacon outside the door and he broke a window, 15 years. So how do we interpret this? This is Democrats, liberals, progressives, all our people in the establishment are using the hate crime laws to target whites and tell them that they're not in charge in their own country and that they better mind themselves around non-white people. Because if they don't, there will be enhanced penalties for all of these crimes. At the same time, the message that they're sending to non-whites is, well, we might have to talk this up a little bit, but we're basically going to treat it like anything you would do to each other. So all of the people on the alt-right, all the people who support Donald Trump, and even the basic conservatives know that this kind of stuff is a problem. But this is what you're going to look forward to in the United States even more if we don't stop this stuff and turn it around pretty damn soon. Thank you for your time. This is December the 9th, 2017.